Penda, may you introduce yourself with your name, your position, and your major?
My name is Penda Samba. I go by Penda. I am the Assistant Director of Advising and Study Abroad. I had my undergraduate studies in communication, Spanish, and diversity in higher education. And I did my graduate studies in Masters of Science in Higher Education Leadership. And I've been at TCC for 4 years.
Awesome. How do you help create a comfortable and thrivable environment for international students that join TCC?
Well, the first thing we tell students, and the first thing I even tell international students, is that this is your second home. Because I know firsthand how it feels to leave your family, your friends, just your comfort zone, and coming to a school where the culture is different, the language is different, the education system is different. So just making it very comfortable, making sure all the resources are there for them. Even if I have to hold your hand and walk you through the advising or to counseling, whatever the case is needed to help the student. So my motto is the international office is your second home. Come in as much as you want, come in my door. It's always open, I don't close it, but come in, ask questions, don't feel shy, we are here to help you. So just making it as homey, as comfortable, as cozy, so they can at least feel comfortable and as they're adapting to the system.
I believe one of the ways that you can make students feel comfortable is that the international program, they have held like quarterly events. Are there any specific events?
Yes, we actually do have a lot of events for our students. And one of the reasons why is that a lot of times when other events are being created on campus, a lot of our international students don't feel included, or they feel like they're too shy, or it's not in their comfort zone to be part of those events, because the college always have amazing events for students. Now, we started having this really cool event that we call Happy Hour. And the content of Happy Hour is to have this really cool leisure space, safe for international students to come in, hang out, mingle, get to meet other new students. And also just to hang out with staff, because a lot of times they don't want us to think that, hey, we are your advisors, or you work with us, then we're not really your friend, or we're not here for you. So Happy Hour opened that space for us to just come and play games with them and hang out and talk about their culture. We even have them create this international music playlist, so we get to know the music that they listen to. So it just offers this really cool downtime for us just to hang out and get to know our students better. Because I feel like if you work with a student and you don't get to know them, on a personal level, then that relationship is really not
Genuine.
yeah, it's really not genuine. So I like to know my students on a deep level, like, hey, why are you here? Did your parents make you come to the U.S. or was that your choice? Like, get to know the student more and see what's that layer behind just you being a student. So Happy Hour just definitely opened those doors for them to come in, and it's from 1 to 3:30 every Thursday, so they have that time to come in and hang out and be themselves if they don't get to have that in other events or they don't feel comfortable. So that's one event. We also have other events during the holidays, like fall quarter. We have Halloween, we have Thanksgiving, we have Christmas, and the New Year. So usually we have like pumpkin carving party, and a lot of times those concepts are new to them, because in their culture most of them don't have Halloween, or they don't even know what Thanksgiving is about. So we do have those events where we're teaching them at the same time what are these holidays and what do they mean to American, to the Americans, or just to the culture. And some of them, they do live with, they do homestay, so they do live with American families. So getting to knowing it here in the office and then going home and practicing it is something that's really meaningful to the students, because they get to assimilate to the culture as well. So that's another event that we do, just little workshops like that. And one of the other ones that we do is called Let's Talk About. So every quarter we have about 3 different Let's Talk About events, and it's usually about graduation, how to apply for graduation, or how to transfer, because that's something that's really important to our students, or even how to get a job on campus, because a lot of times the concept of applying or just going to an interview is new. to a lot of students, so we do have those workshops also just help them be more acclimated to the cultures. Some more. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are some of the events that we have to help them.
That's beautiful.
What are the required skills to become a staff member of the International Student Center?
Okay, so one is you definitely have to be open-minded. And this is more on the social side, and I'll talk about the academic side later, but be open-minded, just be accepting everybody regardless of their culture, their background. Also, I guess having a passion for international education is huge. And I believe a lot of us in the office, we do have that background into international education. So whether you study abroad when you were younger, or whether you hosted international students, or your family did that when you were younger, or even just what you studied, that brought you into this field. So as an example for me, what got me into this field is that I came into this country when I was 13 years old, and growing up I always had an interest on helping immigrants, regardless if they are international students or if they are people who have their green cards or undocumented students. So that my passion for that field led me into where I am today. So I would say those are some of the skills that I can think of. I'm pretty sure there are many other great things in regards to being involved in this field, but definitely have passion for international education is a great skill for them.
Working in this field for 4 years now.
Yeah, 4 years.
Do you think that international student have bring any impact to the domestic student?
Oh my gosh, yes, a lot. I mean, if we think about diversity, right? Because diversity is not only to race or origin or all the other things that compile what diversity is about, but I feel like culture is huge. And when you think about global studies, you always think about studying abroad, right? But I feel like having the international students in this campus is giving the opportunity to domestic students to study abroad locally. So it's kind of like local to global, because you'll learn from international students either about their food or what type of languages they speak, and you never know, that might spark interest for a student to say, you know what, maybe I want to do global studies, or I want to do international business, or whatever the case might be. But the international students do bring a huge impact on campus. So November 18th to November 22nd is International Education Week, and we do have a lot of events on campus for domestic students to be involved in International Education Week. And also, as the coordinator of study abroad, we brought students to a few countries past few years. So we had China, we took students to Shanghai, we had Belize, we took nursing students to Belize, we had Japan, and we are still working on having domestic students have those opportunities to travel abroad, and just to kind of have that glance of what is it like being an international student at a different country, because usually it's kind of hard for them to kind of empathize when they see international students here and the struggle that they have. But them being in that country might kind of give them like, okay, so this makes sense. I'm in France, as an example. I don't speak French. I'm lost. I don't know how to interact with the people there, but this is a way of just relating to the struggles international students go through. So they do make an amazing impact on campus.
I'm going to skip one of them. But what are the pros and cons of having an international student office here at TCC?
There's no cons at all. There's a lot of pros, and just going back to what I said, just making the campus like an international campus where international students are recognized and their voices are being heard. Because a lot of times international students' voices are not heard, and mainly not because they don't have advocates, but mainly because there are language barriers. That's going on a lot. And I'll give you an example. Every year we have the Student of Color Conference, and I usually take students there every single year. And for the past 3 years, we have international students who present about the struggles that they go through as international students, and how it's really good for domestic students or even like staff who don't work in the international office to understand. So if we have a student who go to enrollment services and they have a heavy accent, how is that staff going to work with them? Are they going to send them directly to us, or are they going to work with them and trying to understand what they're trying to communicate. So I am a big advocate on making sure our students are being heard and they are being included in a lot of things that's happening on campus. So I don't see any cons of having an international office. There's definitely a lot of pros because it opens door, for a lot of opportunities internationally, and also more partnerships. So every year we have students from Denmark who come here and study for a short period of time. And not long ago we had Dr. Harold with our director, James Newman, who went to Denmark and just to establish more partnership with the Danish partnership that we have there. And also we have our short-term program with the University of Kitikishu. So they are here every 6 months, and we have an amazing partnership with them. So it's just creating more partnership with all the schools abroad. And also Tacoma has a lot of sisters with different countries, so they call the sister city. So we have like Kitikishu, we have one in Belize, we have just one in Denmark. So we have a lot of countries where we have relationship with. So I mean, there's just a lot of opportunities and a lot of benefits here on campus to staff and to students as well.
I think you mentioned a couple before,
Mm-hmm.
like being a more partnership. Do you think there are other things that, like, as a staff or the student could improve on to this program?
I think being more heard. I feel like sometimes when we do have certain events like International Education Week, maybe we won't have like a lot of domestic students come and participate into it. So I think that might be an improvement, is just to be more to go out there, I guess, and just integrate other people, other departments. So as an example, the EAP department is one, because they do work with ESL, English as a second language students, and those are not international students. So just a way to work more with other departments, I think that might be an improvement. So when we do have events like that, we can have faculty be more willing to send our students, or even like part of their curriculum or something like that. So at least we are having a strong partnership with other departments. So maybe that's an impact, and that's something we are working on as an office, to make sure that everybody's aware of the things that we do on campus. And from time to time we have one of the English instructors, so Pang as an example, he come to our happy hour. So it's nice to see other faculty members or staff just stop by to our happy hour just to see what we do with our students. So yeah, work in progress.
Have you seen any interracial relationships stem from this program?
Can you be more?
Like romantic relationships, like people maybe from another country and a person from another country that's maybe from another continent?
Like with students having romantic relationships with each other, or?
How do we word that?
Yes, between
In your
students.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really follow. I don't really follow students.
Yeah.
Private life, but I'm pretty sure there is that where students date each other from other countries. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
for
no,
that.
thank you
you.
guys for coming and getting to know our world. And feel free to come back and ask me if you have any questions.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
I feel like we should probably cut out the last